Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is David Beeson. I'm your host for today's conversation. My guest today is Griffin Cherry, the founder and CEO of Planet Tech. We are going to be talking about his business, journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share what it's really like to build and operate a business. Griffin, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here today. I would love for you to give us a little bit of background of who you are and tell us about your business as well.
Sure, I could give you the long story, the short story, but I know we're short on time, so let's do some short story. I've lived pretty much six lives, done everything from working on cars to building airplanes. Lived in Hawaii, had a small business there. Built used to build and repair sails for sailboats. Used to work in restaurants here in Austin, where I live now. I actually went to culinary school. I wanted to open up a restaurant there. Realized restaurants don't make money, so got into sales, door-to-door sales. Got up into the top 2% of the nation for door-to-door roofing sales, and realized we're polluting our planet. We're not really taking care of our planet as a whole, and I made a conscious decision to become a planetary liberator, basically free our planet from climate problems, poverty, all sorts of different problems that we as a society have created through prosperity and also difficulties. So what we're working on right now is our business is called Planet Tech. We have developed a device that goes on cows and turns cow burps into jet fuel. And so that's what we're here on the show to discuss today, is what we're building.
Yeah, that's crazy. Real quick, going back a little bit though, you said door to door, and I got some flashbacks because I did door to door in college. But I think I got I think I got scammed a little bit because I got brought into door to door solar sales, and I remember I closed like three things and then didn't get paid anything. It was horrible. I only did it for like a month and a half and then I quit. I know I'm switching it about me real quick, but I'm curious, is
Oh
that like
no.
normal with solar? Is solar
Oh,
known to be
dude.
like, oh, stay away from it?
It's I'd say it's door to door in general. You really gotta pick and choose the company you work for. Solar is particularly egregious though. Like you will find, like you go on any solar company and look at the reviews on Glassdoor or even the reviews consumer facing, they are all bad. So I would
Makes
definitely
sense.
say, and I mean they're predatory because they're poaching kids coming out of college just like you and me as well. Hey, you're working at McDonald's, you'll make millions of dollars. Come work for us. You'll do
Yeah.
great. And then all they're doing is they're just throwing you at the wall and seeing who sticks and who doesn't. So that's pretty common.
Yeah, I have a couple friends who do roofing sales, and they always, from what I know, it's a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a lot less uh, kill or be killed, I guess. Like it's not as
Yeah.
bad. They kind of help a little bit more, from what I've heard, at least.
I'd say the process from getting the lead to actually getting your commission is a lot longer. So they're a bit more selective with who they pick because they're investing a lot of time and energy to get you to where you need to be. And so I think solar, like it's you put a setup, as soon as that deposit hits, you get pretty much half your commission. And then the moment the install goes up, you get the rest of it. But roofing, there's like 30 different steps to get that roof and all your commissions in there. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, kind of switching it back to the business that you're working for now. So generally speaking, curious, just kind of set the stage for the audience. What is your current ownership structure like? Are you the sole founder and owner? Do you have business partners, outside investors?
Sure. So right now I've been fully bootstrapped. We're actually raising our pre-seed at the moment. So we're looking to bring some investors on. But I founded the company December 2024, started working on what we're building right now, which is the wearable device for cows. In February, I hired my first advisors as well as employees in about March. And one of my original employees, he became my co-founder through dedication and resolve and working on the product. So he's my co-founder and CTO. So he's our head of engineering on the device side as well as the infrastructure side as well. So, but we are
Awesome.
looking for investors to come on. So any investors out there, hit me up.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So talk to me about this device. Talk to me
Sure.
about the science behind it, what it does.
Yeah, I'll kind of walk you through how it works. So you got two parts of the device. You got a headpiece, actually captures the cow's burps. For those of you who don't know, cows produce methane. If you were to put a pie chart and see how much methane comes from the cow, about 20% comes from the manure. Their poop actually makes methane. Methane is an incredibly destructive greenhouse gas. It's like 86 times more potent than CO2. So one molecule of methane is worth 86 molecules of CO2. The other 80% comes from them burping. So their room in their stomach that actually gives them energy and breaks down all the grass and grain they're eating produces methane as a byproduct. And this methane is on a 20-year time scale, 14% of global emissions. And so what we do is we capture that gas and we turn it into an actual revenue stream for farmers. So you got the headpiece that captures the burps that goes to what I call the backpack that they wear on their back, holds the gas. When the cows come in to get milked, we extract the gas, process it to a pipeline quality product so that the farmer can either sell it or use it for up to $1,000 in new revenue per cow each year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's super cool. I'm trying to like think about the science behind it. I'm not a science guy at all. But yeah, no, it sounds I mean, if it's gonna help the planet, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely in terms of like levers we as a society can pull to actually save our planet. This is by far the largest one. Methane is a short-term gas. So when you think of CO2 and how it warms the planet, CO2 is going to warm it for thousands of years. Even if we stop emitting more CO2, we're still going to have it in the atmosphere for like 3,000, 5,000 years. Methane, however, within 20 years or so, it's basically lost all of its potency once you hit 100 years. And so if we can eliminate methane from being emitted, and there's only about three major sources: agriculture emissions, you got oil and gas, and then why am I blanking on the third one? Anyway, the two biggest ones are agriculture and oil and gas. And so if we can get rid of methane from cows, which is the single largest single point source, then we can basically give ourselves another 5 years to get to carbon neutrality, which is a really, really big thing in terms of like our children having a planet to really live on. So
Gotcha. Well, when you look at your role, how many hours do you spend working in the business and how many do you spend working on the business? So strategy and planning and all that. Like take me through a day in the life of Griffin.
sure, yeah. Lately so we have a team of 7. Three of them are full-time, 2 of those are engineers, and then there's me. In terms of people on the business side, there's only 2 of us, and then the other 5 are all engineers. So I pretty much cover everything: strategy, day-to-day admin, fundraising, hiring, anything that has to do with the business and not building the product. I pretty much take care of it all. So I'd say I work about 12 hours minimum, maybe about 14, sometimes 16 hours a day. But working on the business, I'd say right now it's probably 80 to 90%, just because for fundraising, we're getting everything ready for us to actually start our first pilot. And so it's a lot of working on the business rather than in the business rather. Right? In the business and then on the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the business, on the business, I'd say it's more so on the weekends that I'm reviewing everything, reviewing communications, strategizing, seeing what's in the gap, what's working, what's not working. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I know you mentioned you're working like 12-hour days roughly. So I'm curious, if I were to give you an extra 10 hours back each week, how would you invest those hours? Would it be business, personal life, family?
Hmm. At this moment, we're at a really critical crossroads in terms of our business exploding. We basically built the rocket ship. We just need the rocket fuel, and that rocket fuel is capital. So I would 100% spend that on 10 extra hours on fundraising so that we can close our round. We're raising $3 million right now, and we really need to have the capital in the bank sooner rather than later. So I'd really focus on, okay, how can I spend this on more warm intros? How can I go to another event where there's some investors here? It would really be probably spent going to events, honestly.
Yeah. So I know we kind of touched on this a little bit already, but why'd you choose to go into business for yourself as opposed to choosing to work for someone else? I know we kind of lightly touched on it in the beginning, but curious what the thought process was like.
Sure. I'm sure like a lot of people that are in the audience, I grew up watching Shark Tank. I grew up watching entrepreneur shows, seeing when those guys walk in the door and they say, "Oh, we want 5% for 500K for 5% of our company and their product's shit. I'm like, dude, this is not going anywhere. They're not going to get a deal. And then turns out they're not going to get a deal. So even from like 10 to 12, I knew I wanted to start my own business because I just kind of had this thing in the back of my mind. It's like, oh, I could do that. If that guy could do it, I could do it. And so for the longest time, I never really had the three things I feel people need to have to build a business, which is the time, the skills, and the money to do it. And the beginning of 2025 was the first time I felt I had the infrastructure around me to do that. I had the time, I had the money. Finally, I saved up some money from the door-to-door stuff side of the my job, and then I actually had the skills, or what I call is the level. I like to gamify life as much as I can, and so I feel like I've leveled up to the point where I'm like, okay, I can build something that's meaningful and actually succeed at it. So for the longest time, I've wanted to start my own business, but this was the first time where I felt like I had all the requirements and the infrastructure around me.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I like how you think. I think very similarly, where like life can literally be like a video game if you think of it like that. And you don't want to pull the trigger on something too early because then you might end up failing. So sometimes you have to wait till you level up, like you said, and then you can go tackle the big boss. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you watch anime at all?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever watched Sword Art Online?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how there's like 100 levels, and
Yeah.
if they don't get through, they're dead. So,
Hmm.
but the people that actually get through to level 100 is like maybe 2%, maybe 1% of everybody that joined the game. Everybody else was like left on level one, maybe made it to level 30 or so. I feel like that's
Hmm.
kind of where this goes in my thesis of what entrepreneurs are. Entrepreneurs, the only difference between entrepreneurs and the rest of the population is that we actually take action on our ideas. Everybody has that idea of like, oh, I could build this and this would be $1 million product. Oh, I should go do it. And then they never do it.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs are the people that have that idea and actually take action on it. And so
Mhm.
I really think of life as SAO, as Sword Art Online, where level 50 is like the hardest floor until level 100, and then they beat the game and they're the billionaires really. So I feel
Yeah.
like me personally, I'm on like I just crossed level 50 and I'm on like level 55. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You just keep going up.
Mhm.
Um, so what makes your business unique? How do you communicate what makes your business stand out against against competition, if there is competition in this?
Sure. So there's three ways to solve this problem. This problem is a large one, and actually I had a couple pivots when I started this company. Originally, it had to do with roofing. 25% of most landfills in the United States are made of roofing shingles, and they're recyclable. And I was like, okay, well, if we know how to recycle it, why aren't we fixing it? Turns out it's a market problem. You don't really fix a market problem with like 50K. So, uh, transition to this. The way this came about is I saw a notification on my phone that cows are causing climate disaster. And I was like, I have been hearing about this since I was in elementary school. Why is this the same exact story? Why is this the same exact headline? Why hasn't this been fixed? And well, it turns out there's three ways to do this. You can re-engineer the cow to produce less methane. So think like feed additives. You can add seaweed to their diet and it actually reduces the amount of methane they produce. You can do
Mhm.
vaccines, gut microbiome re-engineering, so the actual gut doesn't produce the methane. But in reality, this is actually re-engineering evolution, and I think I would rather monetize a waste product than try and re-engineer the cow to operate differently, right? That's one way. The second way is there's a
Yeah,
device.
especially when we're going to be eating these cows too, and like whenever you're putting all that stuff in, it's like what's that going to do to
100%.
us?
There's some people that say the cows that have the seaweed additive, the milk tastes different. And
Yeah.
so, and we don't even know health effects as well. So just
Mhm.
taste alone is a reason for people not to buy the product. Um, so yeah, basically we looked at this and we said, everybody else is kind of looking this through the lens of reduction. Why don't we look at this through the lens of monetization? After all, the average American dairy farmer on profitable years, which is only 2 out of the last 20, only makes about 1 penny per 11 gallons of milk they sell in profit.
Wow.
They do not make money. And so we're trying to flip that on its head and really change the story. Dairy farms are no longer dairy farms; they're just energy farms that happen to produce milk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super cool. Um, so in this field so far, is there other competition, or y'all kind of like the first of this with this type of technology?
Yeah, we're a first of a kind product for the approach that we are doing, which is um, monetizing the problem instead of just reducing it. Yeah.
Awesome. So for anyone out there listening right now, what is one thing that you wish more people knew about your business?
Hmm. I'd say so. There's another podcast I love listening to. It's called Hardware to Save the Planet. In the audience, if you like what anything I'm saying, you would definitely enjoy that podcast because it's specifically on hardware products that are solving climate issues. And one of the ending questions they ask in that podcast is, um, if you could talk to anyone and ask them, if sorry, no, is it if someone wants to join climate technology, what would you say to them? And I think it's such an important question because the climate change, even though it's politicized and it's not a political topic, it's science, is the largest problem and also the biggest opportunity for massive wealth creation in the world. And people don't really see it as that. It's like, oh, it's a science problem, let the scientists take care of it. No, it's a problem um just like poverty, just like any B2B SaaS product, like it's a problem that needs a solution. And so I think rather than what I would want to know about my business, it's more so I think more people should be looking at climate as an entrepreneurial opportunity because there's a lot of money to be had in really, really big problems.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So kind of transitioning over to marketing. I'm always so I have a background in digital marketing. That's that's what I went to school for was digital marketing and film and TV production. So I've kind of blended the two together. I do videography and stuff like that. So I'm always curious what successful businesses are doing. I know you guys said that y'all are in funding right now. I'm curious what that looks like. What is the marketing strategies? What's the networking strategies that y'all are using?
Sure. So yeah, we're pre-product, pre-revenue right now. So we're not really marketing our company as a whole, except for doing stuff like this, of course. But for fundraising, we were just looking at it recently. We're like, okay, um, we had two different strategies. One was cold outreach to new funds. So using their online forums, sending emails like, hey, this is what we're doing. We think it would be great for you. And we have a 0% return on all of those. None of them are booking appointments. None of them, if they do get back to us, it's oh, we don't know you. We don't want to talk to you, right? And we were looking back and we're like, okay, so all the people that have committed to the round and also have given us the time of day, where did those originate from? And we realized it was from warm intros or people I met in person. So going to events and talking to investors and be like, hey, this is what we're doing. And then they would give us the time of day. And so this correlates with our research, which says if you have a warm intro, there's a 90x increase probability of them actually responding to you. And so our strategy has shifted from we are no longer spending any time on cold outreach. That is a dead horse, 0%. Why would we put more time and energy and money into that? It doesn't make any sense. So now we are
Yeah.
going to our network and we have a list of investors and we say, hey, these are our investors we want to have in our round. Do you have any second, third connections to any of these people? If you do, intro them to us, and they want to help us anyway, so that's the best way they can help us. So I think in terms of um, any startups or anybody that's trying to get funding out there, don't put any time into cold outreach unless it's like that's your only option.
Gotcha, gotcha. So what approach have you had to tracking these leads? Do y'all use a CRM? Do y'all keep a
Yeah.
spreadsheet?
Yeah, we use HubSpot. We got HubSpot for startups, so it's like 75% discount, which is super nice. Um, but yeah, we use HubSpot as our full CRM. we don't have any crazy sequencing or anything like that. It's really just making sure we put in all our touch points, make sure everybody, me and my investor relations manager we're the two people following up. And so it's really important that every single touch point, even a view or a single text, is put in there so that we know the number one, the context of the relationship.
Gotcha. So I'm curious what your sales product looks like. So like if I was an investor, how would you sell me on the product?
Sure. So if you're an investor, number one, there's a lot of educating to do on this product. It's not like we're, let's say, fireflies, like the note taker. Hey, we're a note taker in your meetings. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
We're a device that goes on cows. We capture burps and we turn it into a product farmers can sell. So really, our value proposition is treating the investor like they're a farmer. Hey, you're a farmer. You're not making money. We want to make you make money, and we also have a health sensor suite on the device that saves them money as well. So we make them money, we save them money, and we save a planet as the side effect. So my pitch kind of is really tailored to the investor. If they're a climate investor, I'm definitely going to talk more about the climate. If they're a generalist investor, I'm going to talk more economic focused. Hey, farmers aren't making money. This is how we do it. Yeah, I think my approach is really specific to that person. That's also kind of developed through my background in sales. Is when you're selling to someone, all you're doing is you're transferring energy, and the energy that the other person is giving you on the other side is really important feedback. And so if you can tailor that sales energy that you're giving to someone to their energy they're giving you, that's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I love that pitch. That's a great pitch. So, uh, going towards like leadership, I know you said that there's about 7 of you guys.
Mhm.
So how would you describe your leadership style in business, and has it changed over the years?
Yeah, it's definitely changed over like the last 6 months, 9 months. um, Coming from door to door and this big success, and this is something that if is your audience mainly entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Okay, so then they'll understand what I'm saying. If you lead with ego, you're just gonna your foundation, everything is gonna crumble because having a foundation like ego is not sustainable. And discovering that through feedback from the way people interacted with me, did not interact with me, um, and building on that through my leadership style and leading through a heart-driven leadership it's changed over the last like 3 months, I would say. Um, Growing a bigger team and scaling beyond just me and my co-founder as a single source of truth is difficult because instead of being able to focus on all of my time on the things I need to do, I have to now focus some of my time on making sure everybody's all at the same level. And so I'd say my leadership style has changed to be much more conscious of where my energy is coming from. Is it coming from my ego? Because if it is, that's not good. That's not sustainable. That's not positive. It's negative. Is it coming from my heart? Okay, that's where we want to lead from because that inspires change. That inspires people to actually jump on board a massive, massive mission. Our mission is it's unquantifiable. Our mission is to build technology that solves planetary scale issues, usually where people are not looking, so that all future children have a cleaner and better earth to live on. And so that's a really, really,
Yeah.
really big mission that requires leadership from a heart-driven center. So
Yeah. No, I love that. So, looking back on the last year, because you said that since December, I think, right, of 2024.
yeah.
Um, so looking back on the last year, what has been the biggest roadblock that you guys were forced to overcome?
Ooh. Um, Biggest roadblock in the last year. Hmm. I'd say in the beginning, the first 2 months or so, I started working on this really in February. I had to spend about 20, 30 hours a week going to every single event I could in Austin, um, to try and find talent. I could not, I would talk to investors, mentors, and they're like, where's your CTO? Where's your co-founder? I was like, what are you talking? Like, I'm enough. Come on, look at me. And they're like, no, you need like someone on the technical side. I'm like, yeah, you're completely right. So I literally spent 20, 30 hours a week trying to find a hardware engineer, and it was impossible. I had probably 20 different software engineers say, oh yeah, I'd love to be your CTO. I love what you're working on, but I needed a hardware engineer. And so I finally someone said, hey, have you tried LinkedIn? And I put one job posting on LinkedIn, and I had like 20 people that were fully qualified apply, and it was amazing. So finding the right talent, any business, whether it's a startup, whether it's a small business, whether it's um, a roofing company, for example, in the very beginning and for the a large majority of your first 2, 3 years, maybe even 5 years, it's the team. It's who's with you. That's all a company is a collection of people. And if your collection of people is bad, then you're gonna have bad company. So finding the right talent, finding the right people that are the right person for this specific job and exactly what the company needs is absolutely paramount.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, if you're ready, I think we'll transition to a couple rapid fire questions.
Sure, sure.
All right. What is the key to success for you?
Recovery. Recovery and making sure that I take care of my body, take care of my time and my energy. If I don't, everything crumbles.
Yeah. What is your one piece of advice for other business owners?
Hmm. Um, your business will only scale to the level of the founder. If the founder is not working on themselves, then you're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've actually seen that before time and time again with buddies from college and stuff where they try to make their own independent film company or they try to make their own advertising company and then they don't put any work into it so it doesn't go anywhere.
100%. 100%.
Um so I know you already kind of brought up the podcast, but what is a book or podcast you're reading or listening to right now?
Hmm. This is one of my mentors and future investors. His name is Sam Goodner. Oh, it's called Like Clockwork.
Like
Absolutely
clockwork.
amazing book. Like Clockwork, run your business with Swiss Army precision. He's a mentor and an investor based here in Austin, and he just came out with his book in September. And so many little nuggets of gold in that thing. I would highly recommend it to any entrepreneur on the that's listening.
Yeah. So this is kind of a fun question that I always love to ask. If you had a little bit of magic dust and you could choose one spot in your business, sprinkle it, where would it be and why? I think I know the answer, but
A bank account? No. um, honestly, yeah. Like, you're familiar with the governor on a car? Yeah, that's kind of our if we could get let me put it this way. If overnight at $100 million, we could change the world.
yeah,
Yeah, it would be absolutely insane what we could do with even $1 million. So yeah, yeah. Little magic
yeah,
dust
no.
of capital would be amazing.
Well, hopefully there's some investors listening here that'll be able to reach out.
Yeah,
Um, before we get to the final question of the day, would you like to share with the audience how they can follow you guys, learn more, contact y'all?
sure. Yeah. So we honestly, LinkedIn is the best place. So my LinkedIn is just my name. It's Griffin Cherry. Our company page is planet.tech. And again, we're a startup, so we're pretty small at the moment, but we'll be pretty huge here coming in just a couple years.
Awesome. Well, we've come to the final question of the day, and that is what is most inspiring to you today?
Ooh, I'd say my team. My team shows up. They've been working for equity without pay for about 9 months now, and they show up every day, kicking ass, uh, trying to build something that can truly change the world. And really just want to shout out all my entire team, and also our future team members that come on and join our mission. So it's really inspiring
Yeah.
to see them show up every day.
Yeah. Well, this was a great conversation. I really enjoyed getting to hear your story. So thank you so much for sharing. Also, I just encourage all of you watching to save the show and come back and watch it again because Griffin really did have some great insights for business. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that way you get notifications every time a new conversation drops, just like this one. Thanks to everyone
Like
who
and
joined us today.
subscribe.
Yes, sir. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, and a special thanks to you, Griffin, for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
And I will see you all in the next episode.